What up, scallywags? Running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Sent Johnny some money out where he's at. Gotta run over and get Nate. He got to see his daughter. I need to put those pictures up. He got to see his daughter. The mother of his kids, of his child, of Cheyenne, she broke up with him and kicked him out of the house, and he didn't go running back to her. And we'd go by to see his daughter, and she would just let him sit out on the front porch with her. And I said, you know, man, until you get a parenting plan, that bitch ain't gonna act right. You need to go to court and get a parenting plan. Well, he didn't listen to me. He was trying to keep things all civil and shit, which is good. And the bitch took off, left state with his kid without saying a fucking word to him. And just so people know, the way it works in most states is if there's no court order, it doesn't matter if your name's on the birth certificate or not. If there's no court order, the other parent can leave state with that child, and there's not a damn thing that can be done about it. So she left state with his daughter. We didn't know where she was. I'm very good at finding people. All I need is a name and a state and an approximate age, and I can find damn near anybody. But I found her down in Florida, and she wasn't wanting to let him see his daughter. And you gotta understand something. Since high school, I used to call Nate the Pied Piper of kids in high school. He's got more nieces and nephews. Everywhere we go, Uncle Nate, Uncle Nate. When my son Nathan got married, Nate's the one that had to be there, that he wanted there, because Nate's just always been fantastic with kids. He doesn't act like he's up above them. He's always been good with kids. And believe me when I say, Nate would kill everybody in this world before he hurt his daughter. So he ain't got money for a lawyer, and I said, fuck this. I got on the internet, looked up the forms I would need to file for joint custody. I got all the forms I needed, printed them off, filled them out, had him sign them, took him up to court, got him a court date. Well, he won the court date, and the judge was like, told his ex, you know, you've lied so much that you can't even keep your own story straight. And so he got custody of the kid. Then she was supposed to show up, you know, video court and let us, so they could get set up the visiting schedule. Well, she didn't show up for that. So the judge said, okay, you get to pick whatever days you want. Come back in a week, and whatever days you want to visit your daughter, you'll get those days, because she didn't show up. Nate went in, put down the days, and the judge, he had a female judge, she looked at Nate and she said, this is all you're asking for? And Nate said, I don't want an argument with her mother, because that's just hard on my daughter. He said, I just want to see my daughter. And Nate agrees with me. You know, I believe if the mother's in the right mind and she's not on drugs and she's not crazy and shit, I believe the child, when they're young, benefits more being with the mother. The mother's the loving, nurturing, compassionate, you know, part of the equation. And I think if the mother's right in the head, the child should go with the mother. What a mother brings to the parenting is more important for a young child than what a man brings. That's my opinion. But, you know, a young child needs nurturing and love and all that, and nobody can give that better than a mother. But he told the judge that, and she said, you know what, you've been very reasonable through this whole process. So he got visitation rights. Every time visitation comes around, she pulls some game with him, and he says, well, I don't want a war, and he keeps getting screwed out of seeing his daughter. Well, she come into town, and it's weird. She drives all the way up here to come into town out of nowhere. I think she's moving back here somewhere, and the bitch is so stupid she don't know I can find her. You can't hide from me. You gotta work and you gotta drive. And if you drive, you're going to the DMV. And if you work, your social security number is going to be used and I can find you. But we got to see Shy, and it was so good seeing her. She gave me a hug. And I mean, that hug, she didn't let go. I didn't let go for about 2 minutes. I said, you are such a good hugger. I stole it from the movie Billy Jack, but I call Nate's daughter God's gift to sunshine. Because this little girl is so bright and full of life that she makes the sun dull. And the best picture I have of my wife, when me and Amy first come back to St. Louis from Arizona, Shy was a little bitty thing. She just, I call them little peanuts. That's when I love kids the most, when they're just little peanuts and you just hold them and snuggle with them, you know. But the best picture I have of my wife, we had just got back, me and Bobby, my brother Bobby, put a new roof on my house, and I painted the inside of the house, got all that shit done. I went over to Nate's. And it's the first time me and Amy got to see Cheyenne. Amy's holding Cheyenne, and Cheyenne's just laughing, and Amy's laughing. And if that was a painting, what I would name it is two beautiful souls recognize each other. They're both just smiling and laughing and happy. When that clique we had going on the bricks before I went to Arizona, it wasn't an organized organization. We didn't ride under red or blue. We didn't ride under Finball or 6 Point Star, you know. We weren't folks. We weren't people. We was just a bunch of scarred up fucking kids that when one didn't have, the other did, and we always looked out for each other. Yeah, we got pretty crazy. We were making quite a name for ourselves. It's actually a good thing that we all went to state prison, because I know it from a good source that feds were starting to work a case up on us. They're going to try to get us for extortion, all kinds of shit, but that's neither here nor there. My homie Bobby told me, he said, man, I hooked up because of what you had written, you know, what it was all about, you know, and all I did is I based it off an old biker code. It was, you know, your family's my family. Your family is as safe with me as they are with you. I won't lie to you. I won't steal from you. I won't fuck your old lady. And if shit goes down, we'll go down together or we'll win together. But you ain't gonna ever see me run. It's like that night, Bobby, we're at a party, and Bobby and this dude didn't like each other. They got in a fight. It was one-on-one. Bobby beat the brakes off the dude. Well, the dude left. About an hour, 45 minutes, an hour later, I look over and there's 7 dudes in a circle around Bobby. And I wasn't looking forward to getting in a fight with 7 motherfuckers. But I stepped up in the middle. I looked at him. I said, are you ready? He goes, yeah, I'm ready. I said, step back. And we stepped back in between them. He went right, I went left. And every step we took forward, they took a step backwards. And Bobby said, man, they ain't nothing but a bunch of fucking bitches. And when he said that, I fucked up. I know better. I took my eyes off of them. And I looked at Bobby. By the time I looked back, I got hit right on the forehead, right there, with a full bottle of Budweiser. Wasn't even open. It shattered down on my face. This chunk of meat was hanging. You could see my cheekbone, my eyelid, side of my nose, tip of my nose. I took 76 stitches to the face. But I didn't even know I got hit. My adrenaline was going. And Bobby goes, dude, look at your face. And as soon as he said that, the blood started running in my eyes. Well, they were a bunch of bitches. If they weren't, they could have took us. But we cleared that party out that night. I do owe some woman an apology. I couldn't see. I was grabbing anybody I could, snatching them up. I used to like getting the motherfucker by the back of his hair, because you could twist that neck whatever way you want, and whenever you throw a punch at his face, you can't miss. It's like punching the palm of your hands. You can't miss his face. And you got control over his neck. But I grabbed some gal up. I didn't know it was a gal, though, and I knocked her out. I feel bad about that. But, you know, Bobby for years was like, man, dude, I'm so sorry about your face. Every time he'd see them scars on my face, he'd be apologizing. And finally I said to him, I said, brother, what would you have done if the roles were reversed? And he said, you know what I would have done. I'd have done the same thing you did. I said, well, there you go, bro. It ain't always easy being brothers. But if I'd have ran, how could I ever look you in the eye again and even call you a friend, much less a brother? How could I ever look you in the eye again, running and leaving you with 7 dudes gonna jump you? I couldn't. I would rather get my ass beat than to leave somebody I love to fight 7 motherfuckers by himself. And we got lucky that night. They were bitches. If they'd had heart and they'd have went at it hard and tried to win, they probably could have beat our asses. Our reputation preceded us, so the psych factor was a play that night too. Motherfucker scared of you, you got that psych factor on them, you got an edge, but you don't want them too scared. The most dangerous man in the world is a starving man. The second most dangerous is a scared man. He won't fight you, he'll just shoot you. But, you know, that's the way we've all been. I had a kid one night telling me, oh, my dad talks about you all the time, man. You guys were this and that and this and that and this and that. And I told him, I said, ain't nothing that we did fucking cool. I get sick of hearing it, people talking about it, about the shit we did back in the day. None of it was cool. I told him if there's anything cool about it at all, it's that out of 37 of us, there's only fucking 6 of us still alive. And we are still as tight as we were back then. Every one of us stayed true to that promise we made to each other till the day we were in the ground or to present day. And most of them were dead by the time they were 35 years old. And there's nothing fucking cool about that. I have buried so many people I loved, and every one of my friends died over stupidity. Some killed themselves. Some, one was shot by the police. One was shot in a drug deal, shot in the head and tossed out going down the highway out the back seat of the car. They had to shoot him though. He was real good with his fists, real good. And they got in a fight in that back seat, and they didn't have no choice but to shoot him. Had another one get shot and killed trying to rip a dope man off. Thought it'd be real cute. Slap his hand whenever he stuck his hand in with that crack. Thought it'd be real cute. Slap that hand, punch that gas, and go. And they got away with it a few times, and I told them, you better quit fucking around playing that game down there. Them boys ain't selling that shit, so you can come down there and fucking make them look stupid and rip them off. And they didn't listen. And Jay got gunned down. He shot back, but dude come out from in between the two project buildings and smoked Jay. And they found Joey fucking blocks away. His biological brother just got gunned down. They found him hitting a straight shooter. Brad hung himself in the county. Todd, the last one to die was Dwayne, and that's my buddy that grew up with Dave Mustaine. I didn't believe him when he told me that. I said, yeah, I grew up with the Elvis motherfucker. And Bobby and Dwayne went to a signing. Dave Mustaine was signing shit, and Bobby took his Megadeth concert shirts, and he was waiting in line to get up there and get his shit signed, and Dwayne said, here, give him this when you get up there. And they got up there, or Bobby got up there, and he got his shit signed. He said, here, I'm supposed to give you this. And Dave opened it up and looked at it, and he read it, and he goes, who the fuck are you? And Dwayne come walking up, and Dave got up, gave him a big hug, and after that, Dwayne started getting Bobby and brothers backstage, you know, at the Megadeth concerts when he come into St. Anne. Speaking of Megadeth, this is his last year that he's going to tour. He beat that cancer, and he just wants to kick back and take it easy. But he sure as hell didn't know Dave. He knew Dave Mustaine, man. He wasn't bullshit. After that, I took everything that Dwayne said as it was notarized. You know, it's like, Dwayne tells me a rooster's got a gun under his wing, I'm gonna frisk him. But Dwayne is the only one that died semi-normal. We used to all roof, and Dwayne he got his contractor's license, started a roofing business, and it got quite successful. He was clearing over $1 million a year. And he was on his way early in the morning to bid a job about 2.5 years ago, and he fell asleep and went right in the ass end of a semi, and it killed him. That's the only one of my friends that died even semi-normal. The rest were drug overdoses, shot, murdered, suicides. There were 37 of us. There's 6 left, you know. 31. And almost all of them were dead before they were 35. That's not cool. There's nothing cool about that. JT got in a shootout with Detective Ellis. And I'm sorry, you shoot at the cops, they're gonna shoot back at you, and you fucking deserve it. They got families too. They want to go home to their fucking families. You know, I've had the police handcuff me and whoop the dog snot out of me many, many times. Not once. Not one fucking time did I ever say police brutality. Not once. For 2 reasons. Number one, when I was growing up, I was born in 1968. I'm 58 years old. When I was growing up, we understood. See, back then there were still consequences for your actions. And we understood that if you fucked up, there were consequences. And some of them consequences might be some knots upside your fucking head. And we accepted that. And the second reason is I was cussing at them, I was spitting at them, I was taking swings at them, telling them I screwed their mother, kicking windows out of the back seat of the cruiser. I'd have beat my own ass. I am Section 8, red flagged on a federal gang database because I was in a prison gang. I'm still in it. The only difference is the gang I signed up with, it only exists in Illinois Department of Corrections, and out here we don't have to bang. That kind of it makes the gang less formidable because it isn't operating on the streets, but it's the only time white boys ever controlled an Illinois maximum security penitentiary because of a great man that's no longer alive. But I'm on a federal gang database, red flagged. I know that for a fact. They had me and my wife Amy at gunpoint out in Arizona. I didn't know nothing about it. I come back and told my homie Johnny about it. He says, yeah, man, you didn't know that? I said, no, I didn't. He said, once you're a flag holder and they know that you're somebody that's got some juice, they fucking put you on that list. And the officer in Arizona, he told me flat out, it said, known prison gang member, extremely violent and dangerous, approach with caution. I'm not that person no more, but before the police even approach your window, when you're getting pulled over, he's running your tags. And the car's registered to me. He knows who I am because he said a little flag pops up on his computer. And I didn't know that. But I'll tell you what, even though I'm red flagged, and it tells him I'm extremely violent and dangerous, and he needs to be very careful with me. Since I got out of prison in the early 90s, I say yes, sir, no, sir. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. I give him my registration, my fucking insurance, my driver's license. I keep my hands on the steering wheel. When he wants the registration and insurance, I say, sir, I'm gonna reach with my right hand in the glove box and I'm gonna leave my left hand here. I do that, I comply, and every fucking time, okay, Mr. Boketing, slow down, or come to a complete stop, or, just slow down a little bit. I never get tickets. They never give me a problem. They're always respectful with me because I am respectful with them. In my old age, I have learned you get what you give most of the time in this world. You see all these people fucking getting out of cars, screaming, yelling, right from the gate, screaming and yelling, throwing attitude everywhere and acting like they make the rules. And then they want to scream racism when their ass goes to jail. If you act like a fool, you get treated like a fucking fool. And if you don't believe me, next time you get pulled over, try saying, yes, sir, no, sir. Don't run your mouth. Don't argue with them. Give them your insurance and registration and your driver's license. And if you don't got no warrants, ain't nothing gonna happen. They won't fuck with you. Once in a very great while, you'll find that asshole cop that just loves being an asshole, but they are few and far between. Few and far between. And if you didn't have the cops, I got news for all of y'all. I've been in a maximum security prison and I have lived with the wolf. And trust me when I say, the wolf will devour and feed on the sheep ravenously and without mercy. If you did not have the police out here holding shit together, prison would be a nice place to be compared to out here. And you can take that to the fucking bank. Those police officers want to go home at the end of the day to their family. They're doing a fucking job. That's like everybody getting mad at ICE. That's like getting mad at Ronald McDonald when you get a bad fucking cheeseburger. ICE is just doing their job. They don't make the laws. If you want to get mad at somebody, get mad at Congress. Because in the United States of America, Congress makes the laws. So you need to take that up with Congress, the ones that like stirring the pot. You don't take that up with the ICE agent. Some motherfucker just trying to do his peachy job so he can go home at the end of the day, you know, feed his family and shit. He don't make the laws. He just enforces them. That's like you working at fucking McDonald's or some shit, and somebody don't like the way they're doing shit there, and they flip out on you about it. It ain't your fucking fault. You don't set the policy for McDonald's. It's the same thing with ICE. They're feeding their fucking families. And if people come to America the right way, you ain't got to worry about getting deported. And everybody wants to get on America about stealing the land. America we stole it from the Native Americans, and we stole it from the Mexican people, the Mayan people. That's a fact. There were Mexicans in California and Texas and New Mexico, that whole area, before any Europeans were here. And everybody wants to talk shit about it. But here's the thing. You show me a country in the history of the world that was not created the same way. Every country in the history of the world was either conquered by somebody else, or there was a coup within. Nobody just said, here, take our country. This is how it's been done since the beginning of time. America didn't just come up with that idea. America didn't come up with the idea of slavery, neither. Now, you got to give England credit. The English Empire is the ones that outlawed slavery first. Was the English Empire. That is historical fucking fact. And most of the slaves in the history of the world were white. And they came from the Barbary. They were captured by black pirates from the Barbary coast of Africa and sold into slavery. And white boys didn't go over there to Africa. Once England, most of the slaves came from the Baltic states, and they were white. Check your history books, people. Quit being fools. If you're going to do reparations, every one of us somewhere down the line got somebody that was an ancestor that was a slave. You can take that to the bank. So give me my money too, motherfuckers. We'll just all swap money. But here's the thing. After England outlawed slavery, and check this and see if I'm telling the truth. Slave traders always go to the poorer countries. Instead of going to the Baltic states in Europe, they went to Africa, is what they did. So they go down to Africa. The white boys didn't go to Africa and just traipse up into the interior of Africa. That would have been fucking suicide. They bought black slaves from other black people on the coast. There were tribes that would war with each other and fight with each other, and they would sell the people they beat and captured into slavery. Slavery has been going on since time immemorial. The Romans had slaves, the Jews had slaves, all kinds, everybody's had slaves. And today, there are still black slaves in a lot of the Arabic nations. Don't believe me? Look it up. Educate yourself. So everybody bitching about their ancestors being slaves. High likelihood almost all of our ancestors were slaves at one time or another. And I'm going to add an and on there. There's still black men that are slaves to this day over in a lot of Arabic states. So you got a problem with slavery, go over there to them Arabic states and raise hell with them about it. Ain't no black man in America been a slave. Ain't no white man owned one that's alive today. So get over it. Take responsibility for what you make out of your life like I have to. I'm a white boy. You see white privilege on me? I've been homeless for years out of my life. Been to prison fucking many times. Me and my wife struggled day to day to keep a roof over our heads. So that white privilege shoved up your ass, and I'm not white. I'm white, Native American, French, Bohemian, probably a lot of other things. I'm a mutt. And they just proved genetically that we all come from 3 different men, Shem, Ham, and their other brother. They can prove that now through DNA. All men walking this earth right now can be traced back to 1 of 3 men. And those men had one father, Noah. So we're all brothers and sisters. So y'all are just playing into the whole shit that the elites want you to play into. They want you going at each other so that you're not paying attention to them. And everybody's uneducated, don't educate themselves, don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and they just go, man, man. It's the oldest trick in the book. The southern slave traders did it. The southern slave master did it. In Mississippi, there were more slaves than there were white men. And let me tell you, that terrified the slave master. So what'd he do? Same thing our politicians do. He told the house slave, you are better and you are above the yard slave and the field slave. Then he told the yard slave, you are better and above the field slave. And he treated them accordingly. Better. And then what did that do? That created animosity between the slaves, and it kept them from being unified, because the last thing the slave master wanted was for all the slaves to be unified. So what do? You create animosity between them, so they're going at each other. And they're doing the same thing today. They have since time immemorial. I love history. I can't get enough of history. I just soak it up. And I'm telling you, you're all being played for fools. I'm picking my homie up here, Nate. That's where I'm heading. And me and Nate met in 1982. He is more my brother than my biological brothers. We've been friends over 40 years. He's black, I'm white. And we get along just fucking fine. As a matter of fact, you fuck with one of us, you gotta fuck with both of us. He's my brother in every sense of the word. I can leave my house, he lives with me and my wife, when he ain't out hoeing. Always out hoeing. But I got a hoe whacker stick. He's always out hoeing. Well, half the time he's hoeing, the other half the time he's home. But he knows that door's open. He can come and go as he pleases. He don't pay me a dime to live there. He eats what he wants and he lives there because he's my brother and I love him. He's my best friend in the world. There is no man in this world I trust more than him. So, it was going good. I was just starting to get wound up and then my phone quit. St. Clair County Housing Authority. But no, man, it's people need to get over it. You know, my brother and my 2 stepsisters, they all 3 went to college, and the day they graduated, their college was paid for. My mom and dad had the money. I could have done the same thing. But I didn't. I didn't want to follow the rules. I wanted to do things my way. So from like 16 and a half to 18, I was awarded the state. They tried foster homes, but they ended up putting me in Chaddock in Quincy, Illinois. That's like the last stop before you go to somewhere like St. Charles Juvie, you know. The state raised me till I was 18 years old. And then I was running away, getting in fights and all that other good shit. And going to prison, county jails, city jails, you name it, I've been there. That's a McDonald's there where that, I mean, people are so stupid. This girl working at McDonald's right back there. Look it up, Belleville, Illinois. She's working at McDonald's. Her boss tells her to take the grease out and dump it in the thing outside. Well, she's too good for that. You know, she's too good for that. She's working at McDonald's, but she's too good to take the grease out. So she gets in a big argument with her boss, and her boss fires her. So she goes home and tells mommy. Now mom's got to come up running her mouth. So mom goes up, starts running her mouth. There's a big argument. And the manager at McDonald's pulls out a pistol and shoots and kills mom and shoots the daughter. So now you got a mom dead. You've got a daughter got shot because she was too good to take the fucking grease out working at McDonald's. Because she had that attitude. And she had that attitude because mommy, you know, parents, we are partly responsible. Parents can't be blamed for everything. It's like me, I could have had silver spoon. I made my choices. My choices were to do things my way, the hard way. And sorry, but choices have consequences. And I don't cry and bitch about it because I did it to myself. I take responsibility for what I have made out of my life. I got brothers that grew up in the hood. East St. Louis is as much hood as anywhere in the country. For a long time, it was number one every year in murders. Look it up. And I know people that have made something out of themselves because they decided not to sling dope and fucking gangbang and get killed fucking before they were 18. They decide to apply themselves and work hard and make something out of their lives. Now, is it harder in the hood doing that? Goddamn right it is. Absolutely harder. You better believe it. Because you're starting farther down than most people. But it's how bad do you want it? But this whole Whitey out to get me bullshit is just so old and played out. And people are getting tired of it, man. I seen guys talking, they were saying, oh man, we ought to rise up and fucking kill all the white people and blah, blah, blah. I said, you might want to rethink that, dude. Well, what do you mean you might want to rethink that? Well, I've looked up the statistics. Do you know what percentage of farmers in America are black? 2%. 2% are black. So they did the same thing in South Africa. The blacks took all the farms back and they ran the white people up out of town. And what do you think happened? They can't feed themselves now because none of them are farmers. And then, you know, all the inner cities be taken over real quick. But you know what? Food will be gone. Food will be gone. There'll be no food after the first day and a half or so, you know. So, you know, then you got to go out in the country and get it from the farm boy who's going to be sitting up in the deer stand out in the woods waiting to put a 30-06 round in your head. People might want to slow down and rethink things. And I love history. I studied the whole Civil War thing. And this generation ain't ready for that kind of shit. It was bloody and it was bad. So, you know, you guys gonna keep fucking around, and that's what's gonna happen in this country is we're gonna have a civil war. And you know what me and my homies will do? I got my spot already picked. We'll be out there waiting. When it's all, that's like whenever I was in prison. You know, me and Nate, what happens if you know, there's a gang war? Well, kill everybody, save each other for last, you know? Fucking, but people need to I think the reason the world is the way it is right now, here's my reasons why I think the world's gone crazy. Number one, they've taken God out of everything. Number two, the family unit has broke down. It's broke down big time. Number three, we live in a world without consequences. Children are raised now and they are mommy and daddy's shining star and they can do nothing wrong and they get everything they want and they're not held accountable when they fuck up. We live in a world without consequences. My dad said something to me when I was young and it pissed me off when he said it. I was like 15. He said every generation gets more entitled, more spoiled, and weaker. Every generation just becomes more and more self-entitled, like the world owes you something. The world don't owe you a fucking thing. The world don't owe me anything. It owes us zero, nada, nothing. And I've been alive on this earth 58 years. I got white friends, black friends, Mexican friends. We all get along just fine. You know why? It's called respect. We respect each other and we judge each other by the way each man carries themselves. You grew up in my neighborhood. You might be black, you might be white, you might be Mexican, but we didn't have any Asians that I know of, but you were treated depending on how you carried yourself. Everything is respect. Everybody wants respect, but they don't want to give it. You know, you got to give it to get it. People ain't just going to hand you respect. You got to give it. And all the yelling, you think you get loud and start yelling loud, that's going to change things? It don't change shit. Don't blame somebody else for the road you're on. That's your own asphalt. It's a play on words. That's your own asphalt. But we are responsible for ourselves and what we do in this world. You come into this world, you're only given time and choices. Don't be a fool like me. Be wise with both of those things. Be wise with your time and be wise with the choices you make. Be respectful. Treat other human beings like you want to be treated, and you can make anything out of your life that you want if you're willing to put the work forward. And if you're not, then quit crying and blaming it on somebody else. Take responsibility for your own actions. Mission almost accomplished. We are almost home. Roger, Roger, Breaker 1094-729er.
And I can go pee.
Holy shit, he's got to pee. I can't believe this.
I got a fifth of vodka.
You do got a fifth of vodka.
Tomorrow should be the full meal. I drink tomorrow. I might drink it tonight. No sugar tonight in my coffee.
No sugar tonight in my tea. No sugar to stand beside me.
Sugar to run with me.
Wop bop bop doo bop doo bow. 'Cause it's great. Have you ever had one of those days when nothing's going right? Your wife starts bitching about whatever it was she was bitching about last night. So you escape into your bathroom just to sit there on your throne. But after you finish your business, the toilet paper's gone. And it's a great day for me to whoop somebody's ass.
You were living here in St. Anne when that tornado came to the airport, weren't you?
Yeah. My dad sent me over. He said, I can't get a hold of Pop. Will you run over and see if he's okay? And I went over there while the sirens were going off and the tornado was at the airport. My grandpa lives right there. And I walk in, he's sitting there eating a piece of fucking cantaloupe. He goes, hi, Mark. And he had his hearing aids out. And I'm like, Grandpa, there's a tornado. Huh? Huh? And then he finally understood what I was saying. He goes, I don't give a damn about no damn tornado, he said. Yeah, I drove over while it was right here, ripping the neighborhood up a little bit over there in the airport. I'll show you where my grandpa's is.
Yeah, I was watching this special on this series, this documentary on disasters and shit. And they had the airport fucking tornado. No, it was disasters, deja vu. But one thing happened, like there was a tornado in the 1900, and then they had the tornado that happened over here and shit.
Well, see, this used to be called the Cypress exit. Now it's a natural bridge. This is the exit me and Amy almost died on, where I laid the bike down that night. It used to go way down. It was straight, and you go all the way down to the stoplight, and you could go left to right. Left take you to the Rock Road, right take you to the airport. Well, I come flying off that ramp, and it used to, you come over the top of the hill, and they had half the distance, 180 degrees, concrete barricades going back like this. Dude, I hit the brakes hard, and it started wobbling. And I thought, oh, shit. So I figured the best I do is lay it down sideways and let the tires hit the concrete. We were going to hit it about 50 miles per hour. And by the grace of God, man, dumb luck, whatever, my foot got caught on that tire and it twisted, rolled under the tire and it twisted the bike and shot us up in the air the way we needed to go. But it is a horrible feeling when you lay a bike down with the love of your life on the back of that bike, because what went through my head was, oh my God, I fucking killed her. I used to drive fast back then, like Shane, man. I've been drinking, and I was expecting that exit to be like it was the other 1,000 times I've been off it in my life. Because my grandma and grandpa, see the lights up here? The green ones?
Yeah.
You go left in that neighborhood, that's where my grandpa lives. The airport's right there. I remember when I was a kid, Mom and Dad got divorced. We went to school at St. Mary's over there. They tore it down when they expanded the airport. And at first you notice the airplanes. But after a while you don't even notice them anymore. You don't hear them. It's just like it becomes white noise, background noise. There used to be vans there. That fucking billboard up here with the baton gale. My great aunt worked for the company that made that. That used to be a drive-in there.
Let's stop with the cigarette. Gotta get some cancer sticks.
Yeah. It's a great day. That used to be a big fenced-in gravel lot there that was used car place. My Uncle Bob used to wash cars there. One of his first jobs. Kroger used to be right where Lee's is, and my dad's friend Roy Swanton lives down, you know where you go down the hill to the hospital there? Right at those lights where Target is on the right, and then there's that gas station garage. He owned that, and his house sat right up on the hill there. And then my mom's mom owned half this land in St. Anne. The Vatterotts owned half of it, and my mom's family, the Pruitts, owned the other half. My mom's family.
You know, aren't they shutting down Kroger stores like all over the country?
That my grandpa used to work for them, driving the truck, and they closed down here, and he lost out on half of his fucking pension.
That's not right. That's not right with the people like that.
He was driving a school bus with these little fucking yippy little bastards, fucking little disrespectful punks, driving a school bus to make a little extra money. The old man grew up in a depression. I remember when we were cleaning the house out after he died, my dad's like, damn, why do you have to save every fucking thing? I said, because he grew up in a depression. They didn't have nothing. Everything I might need this someday, you know? He didn't waste not, want not, he used to say. Grew up with nothing. They had a grocery store, little corner grocery store down in the city, but his dad loaned out food to people and never got paid back, and they lost everything. Gave people food on credit. He couldn't handle people being hungry. And then my mom's dad, his father was a moonshiner during Prohibition, and then he became a Baptist preacher after.
Oh, I can see that fucking body. Asshole.
There was a fucking tweaker out there fucking acting like he was gonna try to steal that fucking drip edge when they delivered the materials at night. Yeah, like 2 o'clock in the morning, I see him at the end of the driveway looking over at shit. And I said, don't get no ideas, motherfucker. I'll knock you out and steal your fucking bike.
Yeah, and your
gas prices going up. Oh my, how the tables have turned.
Oh, shit. Oh.
Almost home. Nate always likes stopping at Sig-Lick outlet store here, getting cigarettes, and that's where he gets his booze. He'll go 2 weeks, won't drink nothing, then he goes out and binges for a week or so. He don't shake or nothing when he ain't got no alcohol, and I get it. I mean, I'm home with my wife playing video games with her because there's no place I would rather be than with my wife. I'm happy with her. But 16 years old, we were running in them bars, and when I say every fucking night, I mean almost every night. We would work 6 days a week roofing, and we were in them bars fighting and chasing women. Almost every damn night. I don't even know how we did it in our early 20s like that. We grew up in them bars. And, you know, most of Nate's family's gone. And he's my family, I'm his family, and what's he laughing at? What are you laughing at? Huh?
Got in that car.
They'd have been like, what?
Walk on home, boy.
Yeah, Pantera. Walk. Run your mouth when I'm not around. It's easy to achieve. You cry to weak friends that sympathize. Can you hear the violins playing your song? Those same friends tell me your every word. Is there no standard anymore, Nate? What it takes, who we are, where we've been, belong. You can't be something. Yeah, except for Nate betrayed me. He taught Amy, not only did he teach her to pimp walk, but he taught her to pimp walk like somebody owes you money. And now she keeps her pimp hand very strong.
And she keeps her backhand stronger.
You know, that's straight business executive. You've been a good friend, man.
That's what life's all about.
A lot of years.
We're still doing it.
We've been brothers longer than a lot of motherfuckers been alive. If there's anything good come out of all of that, it's that we all stayed true to each other all these years. Still tight like we used to be.
I just don't get that shit anymore.
They say if you got one true friend, you're lucky. I've got a few of them. And all the ones that are in the ground, they stayed true till the day they died, man. It's just a shame they all died over stupid shit, man. And what really freaks me out, it shows you there's no rhyme or reason to life, is the craziest ones are the ones that are still alive. How does that work?
I think God needs us around for something.
I can feel that moon pulling on me big time, man. Is it full?
It's almost full. It's right there.
Every time, man, I start feeling like I got a wild hair and I'm wanting to run. It's fucking that damn moon.
Yeah, we'll be full tomorrow.
Me and Nate,
like 2 days.
we were born 5 days apart. He was born July 6th. I was born July 11th.
We were born on the bayou.
Born on the bayou. If we'd have been in the same nursery, we'd been giving each other pound. What up? And then someday,
Trashy Tuesday.
we'll be old up in a nursing home having wheelchair races and goosing the nurses. Goose, goose. Okay.
Back that ass up.
Back that ass up. Back up, giddy up. Whoa. Poker in the front, or liquor in the front, poker in the rear, Nate. She's my little deuce coupe.
I wanted to stick my finger in that chick's butt so bad. From the front.
Greg broke my heart with though, man. He fucking. I like Greg. That you saying I had sex in a cemetery with this gal.
Did you grab the pickles on the back board with her?
I
can't reach it.
No, because I don't want a pickle. I just want to ride my motorcycle, Arlo Guthrie.
You like those pickles? Those pickles are Greg makes.
Yeah, Greg makes good pickles. But what was what was I saying? I'm always saying something.
Cemetery.
Oh yeah, you go. I had sex. We had sex in the cemetery, and Greg goes, "Did you put the body back?" That's fucking classic. Huh? You can see. I'll get my light out here that Amy gave me.
I did to my eye. I got people.
Hey, Mother Mary. When I find myself in times of trouble.
No.
It's just Nate. It's Nate. Nate's home. It's Nate, Solly. You're the only one who don't freak out when they come in. He knows you're part of the pack. Hey, Nate. I thought you said Greg made these. It says dill. I'm teasing it. I'm not that stupid.
That's his cousin.
His cousin Dill. Dill pickles. You want a pickle?
No.
I got 2 pickles. Hey, give me a kiss. I miss you.
2 pickles today. Hey.
I don't want a pickle. I just want to ride my motor. Yeah, Greg makes these pickles. Will you give me a spoon?
Yeah, they make it easy now. You can buy a whole pack.
Nate, you didn't stick your finger in nobody's butt, did you?
Nope.
Did you get any of these pickles?
No, I get some.
I'm just making sure there ain't no butt in the pickles.
What did you just ask?
Give me a spoon. Peas porridge hot. Peas porridge cold. Peas porridge, give me some pot. 9 days old. Don't. Yeah, where'd you get that?
I ordered it.
Jesus, girl. I created a monster.
Yeah, I could play them.
Listen. How's it go? Don't hit your mother in the head with the shovel. Me and Bobby's working on a Christmas classic song. All I got so far is Chester's nuts roasting on an open fire. And then Bobby come up with Jack's Frost dripping off her nose. That's what we got so far. Oh, man. Taste that. Taste one. There ain't no butt in it. That's the shit right there. He could make money selling these fucking pickles, man. You want pickles, Sully? Here. You want pickle? Man, the pickles are the shit.
Sully's not sure about his.
I'm hungry.
I'm gonna heat you up some beef stew.
I'm hungry for you, baby. Get down. Oh,
Are you saying hi to everybody?
I missed you. Hey, Nate. He can make money selling them fucking pickles, man. They're fucking the shit. Well, later, peeps. Mission accomplished. We are home.